It begins with an itch, a small, persistent irritation, a grain of sand lodged beneath an eyelid that cannot be rubbed away. In the harsh, dusty landscape of this Pliocene world, such annoyances are a part of life for this small clan of Australopithecus. They are a people of the senses. Their survival dependent on keen eyes that can spot a ripe fruit from a distance or a predator's twitch in the tall grass. This is the reality of life a million years ago, a time when a moment's inattention was a death sentence. The infection spreads through the insidious currency of touch. A mother rubs her weeping eye, then grooms her child. A male, after a squabble, offers a gesture of reconciliation. Flies, buzzing from one face to the next, are the disease's tireless messengers. What began as an itch becomes a fire. The eyes weep a thick, sticky fluid that crusts over in their sleep, sealing their lids shut. Waking becomes a struggle, a tearing of delicate skin. This is the signature of a virulent bacterial conjunctivitis vine, a precursor to the blinding scourge that future medicine will call trachoma. But to these human ancestors, it is a malevolent spirit, a curse whispered on the hot wind. The clan's world, once a vibrant panorama of green and ochre, begins to shrink. The adults, their vision blurring, grow hesitant. Foraging trips become shorter, more dangerous. They cannot see the snake coiled by the waterhole or the ripest figs high in the branches. Their social bonds, communicated through subtle shifts in expression and gaze, begin to fray in the growing twilight. The alpha male, a powerful figure named Ji-hom, stumbled, misjudging a step. The others do not mock him. They look away, their own eyes burning with the same fire, their faces tight with a shared and terrifying vulnerability. Only one is spared. The boy, Teo, is small for his age, often relegated to the edges of the group. His task is to sit high on the sun-baked kopje that overlooks their camp. A simple lookout. It is a child's duty, more to keep him from underfoot than for any real strategic purpose. But his isolation becomes his salvation. While the infection rages through the close contact huddle of the clan below, he sits alone, watching the world with clear, unclouded eyes. He sees the eagle on the thermal, the distant dust cloud of a migrating herd. He is bored, lonely, and completely unaware that he is the last light of his people. He returns to the camp at dusk to a scene of profound horror. His world has been turned inside out. The clan is not gathered around the familiar thorn boma. They are scattered, disoriented figures, moaning softly, their hands held out before them. Ji-hom, the mighty leader, is on his knees, passing the ground in a desperate, circular search for a dropped piece of fruit. Kai's mother reaches for him, her face a mask of pain, her eyes are milky, sightless white. They cannot see him. They are all blind. The entire community, the intricate web of trust and strength that has sustained them, has been erased in a matter of days. In that moment, a weight of terrible significance settles on the boy's small shoulders. He is no longer a child. He is the eye of the storm, the solitary pillar in a world that has crumbled into darkness. The first dawn in the land of the blind is a symphony of terror. Without the sun to guide them, the clan's internal rhythms are shattered. They awaken to a disorienting darkness. Their familiar world of rock and thorn bush transformed into a geography of unseen hazards. A simple trip to the water source becomes a perilous journey. Ji-hom, still trying to assert leadership, barks commands that only add to the confusion. His authority hollowed out by his own helplessness. Punit, a sharpened acrid scent, begins to fill the air. In the midst of this chaos, Kai's intelligence ignites. He is a child, but his mind is nimble. A perfect example of the behavioral plasticity that is the hallmark of his lineage. He understands that he cannot lead them by force. He must become their guide, their interpreter of a world they can no longer access. He takes his mother's hand. Her grip is desperate, bone-crushing. He makes a low, gentle sound, a bird-like coo he has always used to get her attention. Then, he calls. He guides her around a sharp rock, his small body a living rudder. He leads her to the familiar flat stone where they eat, and places a piece of scavenged honeycomb in her hand. This small, deliberate act of altruism is the first stitch in a new social fabric. He begins to build a new language. He cannot describe the world in words, for they have few. Instead, he uses sound and touch. A series of sharp clicks means stop. A low hum means water ahead. He runs ahead, his bare feet learning the terrain with a new, desperate intimacy, committing it to a sensory mapping in his mind. He then returns and takes the hand of the strongest male, Jihom, and leads him, who in turn holds the hand of the next, forming a human chain. A fragile serpent navigating a hostile world. Kio is the head, the eyes, the brain of this new, composite organism. Their only hope lies in a story, a fragment of the clan's hominid history, a tale of a place, many days' walk to the north, where the water runs green from the rocks and stings the eyes, a place said to heal sickness, a mineral spring. To the clan, it is magic. To Kio, it is a destination, a point on a map only he can see. This foresight, this ability to hold a goal in the mind's eye, is the most human of traits, and it now rests on the shoulders of this one small boy. The journey is a brutal ordeal. He must find food not just for himself, but for them all, describing the location of berry bushes, guiding the clumsy, sightless hands of the adults. He must spot the lion in the grass, the leopard in the tree, and steer his blind, vulnerable family away from a death they cannot see coming. He is their shepherd, and his flock is the entire history and future of his people. Every step is a burden, every sunrise, a renewed test of his terrifying and absolute responsibility. The journey strips the world down to its brutal essentials. Kio's childhood is not lost in stages, it is amputated. The playful curiosity of a young primate is replaced by the grin, hyper-vigilant focus of a sentinel. His face grows thin, and his eyes, the clan's most precious asset, are ringed with the dark circles of exhaustion. He learns to sleep in short, nervous bursts, his ears straining to interpret every nocturnal sound. He is no longer Kio, the boy. He is the eyes. The clan, in its darkness, undergoes its own profound transformation. Jihom, the Alpha, is no longer the leader. His physical power, once the source of his authority, is now useless. Leadership was passed to Kio, a transfer of power based not on dominance, but on the pure, undeniable value of perception. Jihom and the others learn a new and humbling emotion, trust. They must place their lives, and the lives of their young, in the hands of a child. They learn to listen to his clicks and coos with an intensity they once reserved for the sounds of the hunt. This radical shift, a focus of modern paleanthropology, highlights how environmental pressures can reshape social structures in dramatic ways. They reach the spring on the seventh day. It is a gash of vibrant green in the red rock, the water thick with the metallic tang of dissolved minerals. Kio guides them to the water's edge, and one by one, they cup the stinging, acrid water and bathe their eyes. There is no instant miracle. The healing is a slow, agonizing process. For days, they camped by the spring, and Kio continues his role as provider and protector. He finds a nest of ostrich eggs, a bounty of protein, and guides his mother's hands to show her how to crack them. It is a tender, intimate moment, a flicker of the bond they once had, now filtered through the strange new reality of their lives. Slowly, painfully, the white veil recedes. The world returns to them in blurry shapes, then in sharp, dazzling focus. The first thing Kio's mother truly sees is her own son's face. She gasps. The boy who was taken from her by the darkness is gone, and in his place is a small, somber man. The weight of his ordeal is carved into his features. The clan is saved. The community has survived an existential threat, but their savior has paid a price that will never be fully understood. As Homicide returns, he looks at KIO not with the casual dominance of an adult to a child, but with a new, profound respect. This ordeal, and the boy's response to it, is a powerful illustration of kin selection. The boy's sacrifice has preserved the genes he shares with his entire clan. The balance of their world is restored. But the boy who restored it is lost, a permanent ghost in the body of the young man he was forced to become. KIO's story is a testament to a fundamental truth of human survival. Our strength lies not in the power of the individual, but in the plasticity of the group. When the clan's primary tool for survival sight was taken from them, they did not collapse. They adapted. They rewired their social structure, shifting the locus of power from the strongest body to the clearest eyes, demonstrating a cognitive flexibility that is the true engine of our evolution. The boy's burden was immense, but it was the clan's collective trust in him, their willingness to be led by the weakest among them, that truly saved them. This is the quiet miracle of our lineage. We are not just strong, or fast, or clever. We are, above all, a species that has learned to borrow strength from others. KIO's lonely vigil is an echo of every caregiver, every scout, every leader who has shouldered a disproportionate burden to ensure the group's survival. It reminds us that society is a pact, a promise that when one of us falls into darkness, another will agree to become their eyes, their hands, their light. Our interdependence is not a weakness. It is the most resilient and powerful weapon we have ever created. History does not remember the names of the strong, but the names of the bonds that held them together. But what happens when those bonds are twisted into a chain?